At the end of this video, I need to have answered your question on how to properly script for your YouTube videos. What is up, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Ibidunni Osho and I make lifestyle and content creation videos. In today's video, well, I already told you what we'll be doing, but I however wanted to add that I would love for you to stay towards the end of this video, as I have 2 bonus tips on how to make sure that your well-written script does not go to waste. Now, without further ado, let's take our comment of the week. What time is king or queen? Whichever one works for you. All I know is that the most important effect of scripting your videos is how long you're able to keep your audience tapped into your content. For example, this is a rather unusual video style for me, but I'm trying to crack up my ADD, so please indulge me, guys. No, actually, you'd enjoy this. There are 2 basic scripting styles with 4 progressive steps. Now, the very first style is the bullet point style. As the name says, all you have to do for this scripting style is write the headings and the subheadings of your video in your script. So it's either you're writing on a paper, or you're typing in your book, or you're typing in your laptop, sorry. But the most important thing about this scripting style is it's just your headings and your subheadings that you need. In my opinion, this style is advisable for people that don't like to take too much time to prepare for their videos, people that like to be able to freestyle in their videos, also for people that, you know, are very great with remembering all the important points in their video. Now, the con of this style is you can tend to forget the important details of your video. So the bullet point style doesn't take a long time to prepare. You're probably just gonna write only the important things that you need. You can, however, tend to go around the bush or find yourself repeating the same thing that you have said over and over again in your video, which will most likely not be noticed while you're filming, right? It will most likely be noticed by the time you're editing. If that has ever happened to you before, please let me know in the comments below, right? Because I know it has happened to me before, and this was a style that I was using at that time, where I just write in my book the basic things that I need to say. I think I even remember in the video that I did a while ago, where I was talking about, you know, being confident in front of the camera, I was mentioning that, oh, I just do bullet points. In that video, I know the number of times I repeated the same thing over and over again, right? But you guys probably won't know because, you know, I already edited that video. You get? So it's not advisable for you if you tend to talk a lot. It's not advisable for you if you tend to forget things. The in-depth style is what I refer to as proper scripting, and this is the second scripting style. So in the in-depth style, you may choose to write word for word of everything you're going to say in your videos, right? You would write how you want your video to look, exactly what you want to say, how you want to say. If you even like, if you have special mannerisms that you want to use, if you want to do your hand a certain way while you're talking in your video, you have the right to do this when you're doing the in-depth style of scripting. Now, the pro of this style is it is great for people that are not exactly good with memorizing things. It also really helps those that tend to forget important points in the course of shooting their video, because let's not lie, okay, when you have factors like PATN taking the light at any point in time, noise in your surroundings, you want to just do your video and get it over with. So to avoid troubles or stories that touch, I usually script, you know, my videos in Asana, and I literally just pick it up, put it in front of me sometimes, or put it on the side of my, you know, of my framing sometimes, and I just go off. That way I have written everything that I need to say in my video. I have written every important point. I am not risking forgetting anything. I'm not risking rambling around in my video. I am going straight to the point. Now, if you want to make things more sophisticated and you don't want to have to, you know, have your laptop in front of you, you can decide to purchase a teleprompter if you can afford one. If you can afford one, this is just where you've typed your script, you're going to have it right in front of you, you're just going to read it as it goes. The only thing is you're probably going to need to practice on how to be a natural when using a teleprompter. Most of the TV reporters that you see almost all of them use teleprompters, because that way they're able to read the news without having to pause or having to, delay unnecessarily while maybe the show is live or a recording is going on. Now, the other option for you is just to script your video in any of the project management apps that you use. For example, I currently use Asana for scripting, and this is what, a sample of what my script looks like in Asana at the moment. Now, I'd really like to know, what scripting method do you use at the moment as of the time that you're watching this video? Like I said, I used to use, the bullet point style, but I'm currently using the in-depth style, and I'm not gonna lie, okay, I find it more convenient. I find it faster and easier, even though yes, it does take a longer time to prepare, but I am aware of everything that I need to say. I'm not going to risk forgetting anything. I'm not going to risk, rambling too much or going off too much in my videos. If you're not okay with Asana, you can decide to use any other project management apps that you know, but the advantage of the in-depth style can never be emphasized. But it is not for everyone regardless, because the con of it is it does take more time to prepare, right? So if you're not one that likes to take time to prepare, that likes to be very detailed and very thorough about your scripting, maybe it's not the best for you. Now, the 4 progressive steps of each script are the hook. This is essentially the bait with which you would reel us in as if we are fishes. For example, for this video, this was my hook. At the end of this video, I need to have answered your question on how to properly script for your YouTube videos. The next step is your introduction. Now, as popular as Elon Musk, Bill Gates, and co are, they will still get to some places and have to introduce themselves. So following closely after your hook should be your introduction. This is where you're telling us what your name is, who you are, possibly what your channel is about, and importantly, what your deliverables for that particular video will be. The important thing about your introduction is that don't drag it out, okay? As much as possible that you want us to be interested in you or be interested in your personality and love you and be excited for whatever content it is you're offering us, we also do not want you to drag it out and bore us and keep us for another 3 minutes because you're trying to do an introduction into a sit-down video. That's just going to make people buzz out and possibly click out of your videos. And the advantage of scripting your videos properly is also to increase your average view duration. As expected, following the introduction is the body of your video. Now, this is where you deliver everything that you have promised in your hook and in your introduction. This is where some people have issues, in the sense that if your hook or if your introduction was a clickbait, or if your thumbnail was a clickbait, right, and people get to the body of your video and you're not delivering what you have promised, they tend to click out, okay? So this is where you have the opportunity to feed us everything that you have promised from the beginning of your video. Following closely is a combination of your call to action and your outro. Now, I've heard a lot of YouTubers say, oh, when you are maybe getting to the end of your video, try as much as possible to not sound finite, like you're done. Try to find a way to keep people still watching. So be the adjectives that you're using at this point of your video, because you're the scripter, okay? You know that your video is done. What is usually advised by other YouTubers, and maybe I would advise to some extent, is try as much as possible to use adjectives that don't necessarily let us know that you are at the end of your video. Of course, they can tell, okay? If they look at the timestamps, they can literally tell that your video is towards the end. But you want to keep on using adjectives that make it look like you're about to drop another gem in the next word that you're about to use. So that way, your audience has a higher chance of staying through your video. So the trick to doing this is to essentially add your next video or to refer them to your older video. So that way you're saying, oh, before the end of this video, let me remind you, of course you're saying like that, but you get the point. Just say, oh, okay, I have an older video where I taught you this, or in my next video I'm going to be talking about Canon M50. So that way they know, oh, okay, I have to come back to this channel because I know I'm expecting this next. I hope you guys get what I'm trying to say. The first bonus tip I have for you regarding speaking in front of the camera is space out your sentences and your words with pauses. I can assure you that I have retaken this script countless times, okay? But what I always try to make sure to do is have pauses in the middle of my sentences or at the end of a sentence, so that way if I happen to make a mistake, I can afford to cut that wrong part out and leave the good part in. Now this is also where scripting is very important, because if you've scripted your words, if you scripted what you're going to be saying in your video and you have to do a retake, you can literally read your script. Like mine is right in front of me right now. I can literally read my script, make sure that I'm familiar with what I'm about to say before I do another mistake, so I can just retake and I'm making sure that I'm giving you guys what I'm intending to say, and I'm not rambling and I'm not making mistakes. Now the second tip is find a topic that you're comfortable with. For example, if I'm talking about things you shouldn't do in your 20s, I want to make sure that I stick to only things that I know about or things that I have rehearsed enough about, because the advantage of this is you look natural when you're talking, and also it prevents you from doing too many retakes. We're not gonna lie, okay? If you have to retake your video and retake every sentence you do in your videos, it can get exhausting, it can get tiring, right? So if you pick a topic that you're naturally fluent in, even if you make mistakes, you are able to pick up and continue. Now I'm curious about some things, right? Did this video help you? Are you currently using any of the scripting styles that I talked about in this video, or will you change your current scripting styles? I would love to know them in the comments below. But I also wanted to call your attention to the fact that at the end of this video, you're going to find one video that helps you speak better in front of the camera. That's if you're camera shy, and another one for those that are not camera shy but need to know how to create more engaging videos. Do make sure to watch them and let's have a conversation in the comments below. As always, my name is Ibidunni Osho, and until I see you guys in my next video, remember to do good and be kind. Bye.